Welcome to the Weather Gurus podcast for April 13th, 2023. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be talking about Fort Lauderdale's historic rainfall. As many of you know, in the last 24 hours, over 20 inches of rain. It set a new state record for rainfall in the state of Florida. 20 to 25 inches were reported in the area Wednesday, with more coming today, Thursday, as we continue to see this atmospheric river pour into the Fort Lauderdale area. A lot of cars were stalled out on a lot of the highways down there in Fort Lauderdale and downtown Fort Lauderdale. And it was just been a mess. This is historic rainfall. As you can see here, the bullseye between Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Dania Beach, Boynton Beach, those areas will see between 20 to 25 inches of rain here, highlighted in white by the NOAA and the National Weather Service graphic here. It's just preliminary estimates now. As we know, a lot of cars were stalled out. The airport was shut down there at Fort Lauderdale International Airport was shut down as tarmac was covered in water, at least 3 to 4 inches of water or more, 6 inches of water. And it just became a really, really bad situation there. You can see the state records for 24-hour rainfall records at 42 inches in Texas was back when they had that big old tropical storm Claudette, which brought 42 inches of rain down in the town of Alvin, Texas in 1979. But we also had the extreme rainfall in Georgia, 21 inches, 23 inches. We eclipsed that inches of rainfall as well, as we continue to see that there as well. And so, guys, we're going to take a look at the radar here, the radar picture here. You can see there is rainfall in that area right now, extending from Port St. Lucie down through West Palm Beach and into Coral Springs and Fort Lauderdale and Coral Springs as well. As you can see here, we're going to put this into motion, and you can see heavy rain continuing to stream in, to spiral in from a southwest to northeast fashion here down into the Fort Lauderdale area here. And as you zoom in here, you can see, we'll zoom out a little bit, you can see that this rain is just training, going over the same areas continuing here. We call it training here. And there still is a flash flood warning in effect. The National Weather Service has issued that warning for southern Broward County. Okay, thunderstorms are capable of producing heavy rain, 1 to 2 inches an hour possible. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. This is a flash flood warning. That means flash flood has been observed by spotters or trained spotters down there. And you can see why. We have heavy rain from Tamarack down through Sunrise and Sawgrass Parkway. If you're on I-95, Military Trail, US 1, heavy rain coming through that area. Dania Beach, Hollywood, Hollandale Beach, Fort Lauderdale, downtown through Los Olas, Broadview Park. If you're in these areas, please stay off the roads. There's a flash flood warning in effect here, courtesy of Radar Scope and the National Weather Service that I like to use here. You can see rain extends all the way down through Aventura and North Miami. If you're in the city of Miami and South Kendall, you are absolutely not getting rain. But anybody up from that Sawgrass Parkway on up, 826, 95, Florida Turnpike coming through Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, the near beach, 595, Interstate 595 coming through Sunrise, coming through that interchange through Davie. You want to stay off these roads here in this area. There's a flash flood warning coming through, and more rain, a training effect is happening right now as we speak, as these storms move from the southwest up through the northeast associated with this disturbance here, this disturbance and low pressure here. Also, there may be a few water spouts from offshore marine. There's a special marine warning offshore, and this extends down from the Volusia Brevard County line through Sebastian, India. Also be careful of that. Also, some of these storms may produce water spouts. But back to the main story here with the Fort Lauderdale totals here. Severe flooding continues. The Fort Lauderdale airport remained closed until Friday morning. This is the rainiest day. We haven't seen this type of atmospheric river on the East Coast. You know, as the West Coast, we had this atmospheric river that came in, and you get training, you get all kinds of flooding. But this shut down the airport through 5 a.m. on Friday. The Fort Lauderdale airport, according to the Broward County officials, this is a 1 in 1,000 year rainfall event. You don't want your car to be stalled out like these people going through these puddles. Turn around, don't drown, don't get your car stalled out. It's a costly repair to provide to fix water in valves and cylinders and pistons. As the water gets in it, just chokes your engine out. So you don't want to be driving through water like these people are on this highway here early Thursday morning. More inches of rain is on the way, so we could end up getting close to 30 inches of rain before it's all said and done. A bunch of stalled cars. Once again, you see this in Dania Beach and other cities along the downtown Fort Lauderdale area. Listen, they've gotten more rain than the average rainfall. The average rainfall for April in Fort Lauderdale is only 3 inches, according to this article in CNN. It's been nearly 25 years since we've gotten 20 inches of entire month of rain in 1 month, and 1 day that we get in 1 month. So more storms are on Thursday. We got a slight risk for severe weather there too as well, but it's not going to be more of a severe weather. This is just tropical moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, coming up from the Caribbean. So it's more of a rain event than it is going to be a tornado event. But occasionally you may get some strong lightning and some strong gusty wind, straight line winds out of these storms in some rotation, as it is a turning motion from southwest to northeast. But the tornado threat is really about 20% or less with these storms, unfortunately. So please be mindful of that as we continue to see this here. And we'll be back with more information here on the Weather Gurus podcast. Stay tuned for more information on the Fort Lauderdale flooding situation. Stay safe. If you know friends and family, don't drown. And turn around, don't drown. And just seek shelter. Thank you very much.